Welcome back to the Forex Fortress, where I'm still struggling with massive sleep deprivation issues. As I woke up at 3 a.m. last night and just couldn't get back to sleep. But there's plenty to talk about today, actually, so got to be on our game as U.S. markets are opening up relatively soon. And, of course, following up on Bitcoin from this morning's price action as well. So with that said, I should also say, I am going to be on Twitch probably right after this, or actually I'll probably post this later, but be on Twitch first, but I'll record this first. Yeah. There we go. All right. Anyways, starting off with good old Dixie right here. What do we see? We do see still range at the lows. Same shit that we've been saying for the last, I don't know, couple months now, I suppose, or 3-4 months actually, going over here to the weekly. However, I am still looking for it to essentially just grind this area out and float its way onwards and upwards. I would still be looking at this as a macro bottoming area as long as it holds about $92, even especially on weekly closures. Nothing really less. I don't really care whether the daily puts any lows in, as long as we don't see any like lower lows printed than our last lower wick, which was all the way down to about 91 3/4. So it is as it is right now. I'd still be looking for it to kind of grind this area out and put in some more time, maybe over the next couple months, and then try again to the other side. If we go down to the very low-term time frames, what do we see right here? Actually, a little bit of a short-term reversal, I suppose, you do see. So with that in mind, probably would be looking for a little bit of short-term upside action, which can help drive some of the biases that we see on all the major US dollar pairings. And it's kitchen titty time now, isn't it? Anyways, can you hear that in the background? Maybe not. Anyways, let's start off with good old Aussie dollar, and what do we see over here? Aussie dollar coming down, and that would be essentially looking for a short-term bounce off this region right here, somewhere back around about just under 73 cent region, and then game on once again. Of course, coming into tomorrow is going to be Friday, so the weekly closure is going to be needed to be prepared upon, and I am looking for this one to likely drive a bit lower. Of course, I do want to see the weekly closure actually, solidify in stone first, but if we do see any sort of a weekly below the 200 simple right here, which is about 72.5, or no, 72, yeah, about 72.5 actually, then yes, I would be looking for this one to come down over the next, coming into the next week. But for right now, extremely short-term upside. Daily, however, I'm leaning a little more bearish on that one. And then I really want to see the weekly close tomorrow. So again, somewhere back around about just under 73 cents where I'd be looking towards. What else we got? We got CAD dollar over here. Hello, Mr. CAD dollar. How you doing? I'm just going to be more or less the same as well. Coming down to 76.20-ish region. I'd be looking for this one to pop back up. So maybe somewhere right around 76.5. No strong opinions on that, but yes, short term would be a little bit more to the upside. What does the daily look like? I imagine it's going to be very similar to what we see on Aussie dollar, except actually no. Daily's still in a more bullish posturing here, in fact, and weekly kind of same thing here too, caught between the 200 simple and 200 exponential average. I would not feel comfortable making any long-term call while it's kind of also between these two major moving averages right there. But on the short terms, yes, I would be looking for it to pop back up. What else we got? We got euro pound right here, down still. I'm still looking at the weekly, still bearish on this one. What about the short-term time frames? Bearish as well, looking for it to come back down towards 89 cent. I believe yesterday we had a target down to 89.1. We already got that, and I'd be looking for that one to actually curl back down and actually make a new low on this one, somewhere right around here, just below 89 cent actually. Daily's bearish, I believe. Yes, indeed it is. Weekly's bearish. All time frames bearish. It's might even be bearish. Euro dollar, please go down, please. Try to buy a fucking house, man. Anyways, short term, probably looking for another pop back onto the upside here, maybe back around 118.5. Yes. However, daily and weekly do start to look like they're putting in a little bit of a high here. Daily is showing some signs of distribution here, not conclusive as it is just yet. I imagine we're probably gonna spend another week or so within this range anyways. And still the range as far as the weekly goes is what is this, like 119 and some odd cents? Yeah, 119 and a quarter to the upside on a closure, and to the downside we got about just below 117 for a weekly closure as well. So that's not, probably not going to be resolved to this week, but short term, yeah, probably looking for a little bit of a short term pop back up, and then game on once again, and we'll come back tomorrow and see what's up. Pound yen, the best little shitcoin of them all. I was actually bullish on this one yesterday, so I'm going to be massively wrong on this one. I mean bullish on a short term move back up to about what was it, like 138.5. Or maybe even 139, I was probably saying, 138 3/4 is probably what I was saying yesterday. But this one coming down, so Crown is wrong, hang him, burn him, fuck that guy, and still long term I'm bearish on this one. Short term, do I have strong opinions on this? This one quite literally is pumping up. If anything, if I did have to call in the short term right now, would it be bearish on it? Yeah, I probably would be looking for a drive down towards about just below 137, somewhere around like 136 3/4 to 136.8. But I don't really feel that confident on the short-term time frame. It's actually the weekly that I feel a lot more confident on. Long-term, still incredibly bearish as this long-term descending triangle for the last couple of years gets filled out. Still going to take some time to resolve itself, though, to be fair. And of course, this one being the biggest of the Forex shitcoins that I'm aware of. You can imagine there's going to be a lot of drama before that resolution. Looking at pound dollar right here, once again back up to 132.5. What did we say on this one yesterday? Yesterday I was probably looking for this one to come back down. I probably said 132.25. We already had that, or sorry, we didn't just get that. We also had that extension all the way down, another actually half cent right there, or sorry, yes. However, what do I think right now? Would I be looking for another short-term pop to the upside? Actually, no. Well, daily is still stair-stepping. You know, I kind of have the same thoughts on this one as I do on pound yen. It's like long-term, yes, I am bearish on this one. It's like right at the macro area here too. If I had to call it, daily, weekly will be bearish, but short-term, do we maybe see another small pop back up towards like 132.75 and then some more downside? I don't have a strong opinion on that. I'm ultimately looking down here though, probably back down towards about 131 and beyond. Over time. Yen dollar, what do we see over here? Short term back up, probably popping back up towards about 96.29 or 96.30ish region. However, how's it daily looking like right now? Daily's still okay, actually. Weekly is still okay as well. I'd have to be still long-term bullish on this one. Short-term bullish as well, I guess. So fair enough. Bullish on all. What else do we got? We got some Nasdaq futures over here and popping off our low. Did we hit our 11,750 target? Ah, fuck, $50 shy of it. I'd still be looking for this one to come back down. I do think that it will tag somewhere right around 11.7 actually, so I would extend that downside target about $100 or sorry, $50 more. So fair enough. What about the daily here? Daily, get the fuck out of my way. Same area, yes, fair enough. What about the weekly? Weekly probably going to be decided tomorrow, so I probably should hold off on saying anything. I really actually want to check out SPY futures as well. Let's go check them out over here, and then we'll go do a little wrap up on Bitcoin. Oh, and also gold as well, but gold, nothing really changed there. I'm still looking ultimately further down. Where are you? Where are you, SPY? There you are. Found you. All right, what do we see here? Long-term still bullish, to be fair. I'd be looking for this one to be a short-term downside as well, 35.20ish region. What about the daily right here? Yeah, same thing. I would be looking for a bounce off of low 3,500 though, to be fair. And weekly, I'm still more or less bullish on it as it stands right now. Tomorrow's going to be a big day though, of course. Okay, let's go quickly do the rounds on gold as well. I'm bearish on this, looking forward to maybe over the next couple months come down to about 1800-ish region, maybe even lower than that over time. However, how are we looking on the daily right here? Still finding some lows within this region, to be fair. If we do put on some nice horizontal right here, I'd actually get rid of this one. Just look at this range right here and, you know, just kind of play within the range. And ultimately, yes, I would be looking for this one to spill onwards and downwards. Is it going to happen right now before the next bounce? I'd probably be looking for a bounce first off this level. I don't think that's ready to break just yet. Anyways, on to Bitcoin, following up on Bitcoin from this morning's video. And where's my Bitcoin's charts? Hello, sirs. I found you over here. There we go. All right, lovely. And what do we see? Okay, so we did say this morning that if we got a 2-hour or I believe an hourly closure as well, below the 17,600 pivot right here, that would drive targets down towards 17.3, but bounce is implied right around there, which is essentially what we've got. I mean, did we get exactly to 17.3 there? Actually, no, we got 17,350. Crown's wrong again. Fuck him. Fuck this guy. He does suck. But yes, here would be the bounce, and now it's game on once again. So I am really starting to lean a little bit more to the south side on this one. Yes, technically speaking, it has not met my criteria yet for calling an actual potential reversal, of which, we spoke about it this morning, 3-day closure below the top side Bollinger Band, and then I want to see what's it called, the weekly follow through as well, which is actually significantly lower. But the 3-day closes tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it is at 17,400. So tonight's closure is going to be absolutely critical. If you do see a 3-day closure below 17.4 tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, that would be the first major actionable signal, in my opinion, that's going to be indicative of Bitcoin playing out one of those greater downside moves. Could it be anywhere between like 20 and 40%? Yes, we can talk about that if and when it does happen, but obviously right now it has not happened, and more importantly, the 4-hour didn't even close below that 11.7 pivot anyways. So there's not really too much made off of it as it is right now, but I should do the rounds once again on the momentum also, just because there is plenty of interesting things going on right here. We do see 4-hour Stokes, nice and nose diving. 3 hour, same thing, same posturing even as well. Bi-hourly, same shit as well, and hourly flip-flopping around a little bit. But as we said in the early morning hours, be looking for this next high to be put, or sorry, this next rejection to kind of drive that next price action down. That's what we did get from 17.8 all the way down to 17.350. So fair enough. And you know, if I had to call this one right now, I actually do think that it's going to put another local high right here. That's my opinion, not technical analysis. I want to deliberately separate the two because my opinion is bullshit and I don't trade my opinion. But I am starting to really get interested in some potential positions here. And I actually am, well, I think I'll hold off on that sentence, but fair enough. All right, and we just saw the 12-hour close as well. Can we make anything out of this? I'd be looking for another drive down to 17.3, actually. Do we bounce again, or does Bitcoin bounce again off of 17.3? Probably yes. You know, the first test on that yellow 21 on the, you know, on the 4-hour, it's going to have a damn high probability of, you know, of having a bounce there. That second test, though, you know, probably does produce another smaller bounce, but, you know, the more times that you test it, typically the weaker that it does get. So in this case right here, you know, it, you know, still kind of ebbing and flowing, I suppose, but if Bitcoin does, you know, one of these two things, either closes a 4-hour dildo below 17.6, or if we close a 2-hour, could we do something a little bit better than that? Nah, there's got to be something better. Maybe an hourly we could actually use in this case right here too. Yeah, any sort of an hourly on new lows as well. So that'd be below 17,450. Then yes, I would be looking for Bitcoin to ultimately head down to our next set of targets down around the upper $16,000 region. Let's put on our drawing tools right there. It should be somewhere in this little blocky territory alongside the 2-spot extension right here and all the way down to the last sort of breakout that we saw at about 16.8. So I'd say 16.8, give or take a few bucks, is essentially what I'd be looking towards. Again, if one of those two conditions are met. But of course, you know, this area probably does give another small term bounce once again, but I think that it just end up being that. Technically speaking, I am supposed to be bullish as long as Bitcoin is above that 17.6 pivot, and fair enough. I guess I'm not, to be fair, while I say that, I'm not trading this one right now. I don't feel like this is the time to be going for it here. You know, I feel like this run's been pretty damn impressive. We saw a little bit of a change of behavior or potential change of behavior yesterday, again, with about 1.25 billion being printed on a 4-hour dildo on Mexico on this here dildo that you see, and I'd really be, you know, cautious within this region. Now, what would be the obvious thing that would say, Crown, you're wrong, go fuck yourself, Bitcoin's going to 18,800 or 18,900? The most obvious one would be either a 4-hour closure above 18,250. The lesser helpful one is going to be 18,005, but you know, you can see that Bitcoin, if it is going to flip around to be bullish here, what you'd expect to see is you expect to see it kind of hold the lows for a little bit longer within this region right here, and then kind of grind this area out, and then maybe, you know, maybe into next week we will see another try to the upside. I do think that it would kind of take its time, is what I'm saying essentially. So again, I still think that there's a lot of warning signals on this asset right now. I also don't think it's going to, you know, topple on over and play out a massive down move like all in the same day. It's going to be probably gradual and happen over time. So, you know, first things first, want to see the 3-day dildo closure. That's going to be the big one. Obviously, if I'm playing the shorter term timeframes, which of course have less efficacy, then I would, you know, I'd kind of outlay it in the same way that I spoke about just now. But, you know, it's still holding in there, so fair enough. You know, give it respect until it's you otherwise. And I think that's a good place to leave this one off. So I'd like to wish you the best once again. Take care, and until next time.